What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today, we are talking about the World Cup qualification cycle once again, and this is going to be the October window. So, this is the second of the three that is coming this fall. And yeah, man, the first one had a lot of craziness that we've talked about in our previous video, but we're just going to jump straight into it. Well, I'm going to go to bounce it off to you first. You got all the games in front of you.
Oh.
So, yeah, let's kick it off, man.
Yeah, dude. Exciting windows ahead. We're getting to the meat and potatoes of the salad, man. We're getting down into the good grits of the meal, so it's exciting. But yeah, let's kick it off through Group A. Let's go ahead and start off with the group leaders. Suriname are going to be playing host to Guatemala, and honestly, I'm going to be real,
Mm-hmm.
dude. I think Suriname's looking to play spoiler. I think Guatemala, we'll talk about it a little bit later in their second game, but I think the Guatemalans, they're feeling the pressure right now. I think the heat is on, dude. For a lot of these teams, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
especially the summer that Guatemala had, I think if anything, listen, after that first game that lost El Salvador, the cooker kind of went up a little bit. I think it was like you weren't in a hot room, but it was getting a little bit. The temperature was getting hot. You went down to South Florida. I think they're in a full on sauna right now, dude. I think they're in a sauna, dripping sweat. They got to get a result here. If you're Guatemalans, this is going to be a tough game. Suriname's a tough team at home. I will say they're not a daunting team. They don't give me that scare factor, but they're also a team that's not going to give you anything for free. This is a very, very tough team that we've seen bigger teams in CONCACAF struggle against. So I'm going to be honest with you. I think this has 0-0 written all over it. I could see both teams kind of canceling each other out. Suriname, I don't think would be that upset with the draw. Guatemala, if you would have told me a month ago they would have got a draw here, I think that would have been fine. But I think both teams are going to settle with the draw.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, but I'm going to go 1-1 here. I think both teams have enough to get a goal in the back of the net. While Suriname is a tough team to play at home, I still feel like they're struggling to score against of a higher level opposition, and that's what worse. That's what gives me a lot of. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. But that's what gives me a lot of worry for them. Is just they have so much talent in the attack, but it feels like they just can't get that final shot off or that final goal, like that lethalness, because they look scary in transition when they catch the opponent. But then it's just like that lethalness to put somebody away. I think they still lack a little bit. Guatemala, on the other hand, I think they're going to want to be the enforcer. They're going to want to keep the ball. They're going to want to try to develop and create chances and things like that. I think both are going to kind of get what they want, and you're going to leave 1-1 out of this game. I know a lot of Surinamese are probably going to be upset to hear that, but I do think a draw here is a big. Any points you can get right now is great, especially since they are the group leaders. If you're Guatemala, I agree with you. You want the 3 points. You need to catch up. You need to catch up.
Yeah.
And the Suriname game is a very pivotal game since you weren't able to get the results against Panama, and then you completely fumbled the bag against El Salvador. So you need to make up points here. Sadly, I just don't think they have enough umph to get it done, but I think it's going to be 1-1 here.
Yeah, yeah, completely agree. All right, next game. Let's go ahead and move it a little bit up north to El Cuscatlán, San Salvador. My boys, Panama is rolling into town to play El Salvador. Julian, I was talking to some family friends earlier today. I was talking to some other guys. I don't think I can stress enough, and I was talking with my mom as well earlier today about this. This game, it's not important. It's not a big game. This is winner or go home, essentially. This is now or never. I'll be honest, a draw I don't think puts the scenario out of a World Cup. I don't think it's completely, if we draw, it's all hopes are gone, but it's going to get really, really, really tough. We're going to talk about it later about other teams in this video, but Panama is one of those teams. They've used all their lives. It's kind of like what's that movie, Jumanji? You had 3 lives. Panama's already used 2 of those lives. 2 of the livestocks are gone. Now they're down to that final third one. So it's essentially they don't have time to play. And there's 4 games left, and these games are going to go by quick, and they're going to go by fast. So the thing is, the pressure's on. If the pressure wasn't already on, it's completely on. Thomas Christensen, he released his lineup a couple days ago. There were some interesting omissions. Obviously, Cesar Yanni was left out. Edgardo Farinha had an injury. The bigger one was a Carlos Harvey, who picked up a big knock with Minnesota United after the September window. So There's a couple of interesting guys that I would say are starters. A Carlos Harvey who got that goal last game, and whatnot. And there's also obviously you still have our main guys at a Murillo and a Coco Carrasquilla and Fidel Escobar in them. But this is still a team that and you and I have preached, and I've been standing on this soapbox for quite some time. It just feels like they're lacking this heart, this desire, this not even passion, but this like want to win. And the thing is, it just seems like, and I feel unfortunate. Maybe I'll be honest with you, that last window we needed it because nothing, and I'm not even talking about a water bottle will be given. Nothing is going to be given this game. It's going to be very tough. The Cusca clan is going to be rocking, dude. Everybody's going to be screaming for Nathan Ordaz, going crazy. So, I'm going to stay positive. I believe we're going to get the 2-1 win. Speaking of omissions, guys that were left out, we ended up bringing in an Azarias Londoño, who's right now the leading assist guy, top goal scorer in the Ecuadorian league. So I have high hopes. I have high hopes in these guys. It's just going to be we got to score, but I'm going to go with the 2-1 win.
Man, dude, you got me in a tough spot. I'm really worried. I'm really worried from the goal scoring perspective. Like I don't know what to expect, quite honestly. It's tough to guess what Panama's going to do right now. Like are they going to recover, cuz ideally, yeah, you should be able to go to El Salvador and take care of business, but I mean, those performances were so poor, and it felt like a lack of motivation. And that is what really worries me. And being able to come out of that in a place that is historically very tough to play, and they're going to make that field as muddy as possible.
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah,
gonna pull out the fire hose, dude. The fire trucks are gonna come backing out, and they're just gonna just let that shit just rain right on the field for like 2 hours.
I can do it.
And they're like, "How did this
Yeah,
happen? It was sunny today. Don't talk about it."
yeah.
And that's just, but
Concacaf, Concacaf.
I,
Yeah,
dude, you're not gonna like my prediction, but I think it's gonna go 1-1 here, man. I think it's gonna be another draw. I'm really
I can
worried.
see it.
Now I do have the edge that I believe you guys can win and should win. Um, but just knowing those conditions, it's so hard to score over there because of those conditions that you guys already struggle in that department. I just I think there's going to be a 1-1 here if I'm a betting man. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's go to the next game.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move it on. Let's keep it on Panama, dude. Panama hosting in a Romel Fernandez. This, you want to talk about another important game? This is beyond humongous as well. At home, hosting it. It's already a sold out crowd as well, from what I've been seeing the reports. This game's going to be played next Tuesday. Go ahead and drop in the comments if you guys want us to live stream for a game, by the way. Let us know what
Oh,
games.
what?
Y'all let
Well,
us
you
know.
gonna
But
Will's
hey,
gonna live
don't
stream?
listen. If guys, I'm gonna drop this. If we hit 40 to 50 likes on this video, I will live stream. You guys drop a game down in the comment, and Julian and me, and hell, dude, I might even bring on a guest. I don't know. We'll see. But y'all let us know in the comments for real, for real. But
Actually, no,
regardless,
not even likes. If you let us hit 400 subscribers, we're halfway. We're like 345, something like that.
yeah,
Will hop on. I'm going to be live streaming regardless. Don't know what game yet. I'll figure
hmm
that out as we get to it.
yeah,
But if we hit 400 subs with you guys, and I
I'll
know
do
there's
it.
going to be, I already know we're going to hit 1,000 on this video. So like, there's going to be enough people, and we have like what 8% of you guys are subscribed. So that leaves 92% unsubscribed. Subscribe to your boys. We're dropping Concacaf content. But anyways,
Yeah,
let's end the ad break. Let's go back to
yeah.
the game.
Yeah, honestly, dude, like to grow the importance, live stream, watch along, whatever. This is a very, this is a valuable game. This is so important. I mean, like I said, with the El Salvador one, you can draw. It's still not going to be a good result, but it'll still have hope. It'll still give life. This is must win. I'm talking about, dude. I think it has to be win by 2 goals or more. This is a very, very, very huge game, dude. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of it. The
You
thing
didn't
is,
say
I'm
the
gonna be
opponent,
real.
by the way.
Suriname.
Yeah.
So
Panama versus Suriname at Panama.
yeah. So the thing is, obviously we know the game plan of Suriname is going to be to sit back. They're going to play low block. They're going to try to hold. They're going to try to resist. They're going to try to play Concacaf. These are the kind of the new kids on the block. It's kind of like that new sexy chick on the block. You're kind of like, oh, who's that? You're kind of looking at it and you're like, okay, they're going to try to be different. And I think Suriname's going to come in here and they're not going to play this high attacking ball that we've known them to play. And they love scoring goals from all over the field and all that. They're going to play low block. They're going to try to defend. I will say, I think who's going to make or break this game for us is Coco Carrasquilla, which he normally does. But I think this game is screaming. I'm talking about yelling for Coco to have a game. I think for him and also for our wing play as well. And obviously those guys that Suriname have, if I'm not wrong, Vanderkusen is their left back, and then I can't remember the right back's name. But guys like that matching up against like a Puma Rodriguez, or a Michael Emer Murillo. And Murillo's another guy as well. And Eddie Davis, if he starts, those guys have, and I mean have to show up, dude. And the thing is, we saw in that first matchup how they, stylistically, Panama, we looked favorable at times, but at times Suriname was able to catch us on the wrong foot. So the defense has to step up big time as well. Fidel Escobar, love the guy to death. I don't think he needs to start this game. I think he'd put him on the bench. I mean, Suriname have the speed, they have the pace. So to wrap it up, because I could go on for days about this, to just really get into it, I think this game is a 2-1 or a 1-0 for Panama. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. Low block, we hate the low block because we're not used to it. When the best games that we play are when teams are coming at us, and we've seen that in the past against higher ranked oppositions here in CONCACAF. So the low block will be tough, but I think this is something that we will be able to figure a way out to break it. And yeah, I think a 2-1.
Man, I almost want to say draw again, but just for the sake of not doing that, I'm going to go Panama here. I think this game is going to play out probably pretty identical to the first game at Suriname. I think the only reason why Suriname got the draw, not the only reason, obviously they had their advantages and they played well and they looked good, but Panama also dropped a lot of
Mm-hmm.
chances that game. There was like
Yeah.
three sitters I can think of in particular that they completely whiffed. Same thing with Suriname. I thought they had a couple of chances where you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
The only difference is I think this go around, you guys are going to just be a little bit more clinical in the box when you get those chances this time. Guatemala is a little bit more defensively solid, so I think you guys struggled a lot in that game at home versus Suriname are just very, very weak in the defense. And I think you guys will be able to take advantage of that at home, especially if Ismail Diaz can really take advantage of the opportunities that he's going to have, Coco being able to create the chances. I think you guys are going to be able to get it done at home against a poor Suriname defense where you guys are probably going to make up for those chances that you missed in the first matchup between you guys. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 here. I do think Suriname's going to catch you on one of them, though.
Yeah, yeah. And let's go ahead and wrap it up. Our final match in Group A is going to be El Salvador is going to be playing the double at home. So they'll be hosting Panama, and they're going to be hosting Los Chapines of Guatemala in that second match day of match day 2. Dude, can El Salvador pull the double? That's the real question. And that might be a ballsy take from some people, but I'm gonna be real, dude. I think Guatemala. I think after that Suriname game, like we said earlier, I don't think they're gonna win, and I think Guatemala is gonna be sitting at a point not of desperation. Well, no, yeah, excuse me. They will be. They will be at a point of desperation and hunger and need and desire, and they're just gonna go
This
out
is at
and
El Salvador, correct?
correct. This is, and El Cusca clan
Yeah.
is gonna be rocking, and they're just gonna throw everything out there, and I think El Salvador is gonna catch them. I think this game has 2-0, 2-1. I think Guatemala has the talent to be able to get a goal, but I think El Salvador, dude, at home, El Cusca clan, and we're gonna see this in that first game. This is a different beast. This is a different. I know Suriname was able to win. Obviously, this is not impossible. It's not an impossible fortress. It's not mission. You don't need Tom Cruise to go in there and save the game for you. But it is still a very, very tough environment. And I just think on the counterattacks, El Salvador is going to be able to do a lot of damage to a slow Guatemalan defense. That Nicolas Samayoa, Jose Maria Pinto, guys that, you just don't see that type of pace from, nowadays. So I think El Salvador, And like I said, I know it's a ballsy take, but I'm gonna go with them getting that 2-1 win.
Yeah, that game ain't seeing that many goals. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going
Mm,
0-0 draw. I don't think anybody's scoring. It's going to be a rough watch. It's going to be
mm-hmm.
tough. I think Guatemala's most likely going to look like the better team, but Guatemala just I don't think is going to have enough talent. They don't have enough talent to really get goals in that stadium. And then we go back to the first game when they played at home. You think that they would be able to really take advantage and run up the score line, maybe get a 2-0 there. I just I know Suriname was able to get the result there, but Suriname is a little bit I don't know, man, because that Suriname game with El Salvador is what's really throwing me off because they got the pretty decisive win there. And I feel like Guatemala should too. But considering the rivalry and everything that entails,
Yeah,
and one thing I have to look at if you look at that Suriname game, the Surinamese are much better athletes, and I think they were able to take advantage of that situation versus Guatemala are
yeah.
pretty much on the same athleticism scale as in El Salvador. I'm just going to go 0-0, man. I just maybe somebody squeaks out a goal, and if I was to go that way, I'd probably lean Guatemala, but I just think this is going to be a rough watch. I think it's going to be 0-0.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure, Group A. I'm excited for it and a lot. Very, very nervous. But let's roll into Group B, dude. Jamaica will be taking on Curacao, starting off, kicking off Group B. And that game is going to be in Curacao. I'm going to be real, dude. I think this has, you want to talk about 0-0? I think this has 0-0 written all over it. Jamaica, I don't know if you saw their call up. Very interesting. No Leon Bailey. You got guys like a Shamar Nicholson. Michael Antonio got called back into it. Obviously, Dexter Lembakisa, Ronaldo Cephas, a couple of the normal guys, but a little bit more, obviously, of that Jamaican base. Some more guys, younger guys, Kamari Dixon, or excuse me, Kahim Dixon, if I'm saying that wrong.
I
A
believe we
couple other
saw that
guys.
last window too.
We
If
did.
if
We
I'm not
did.
wrong.
And it was a little bit, but this is even a little bit less. So that quality and that market value that we love to talk a lot about Jamaica is obviously a little bit less. But I still think the guys that they're calling up, like, listen, dude, Kahim Dixon, I love him. I really do. I've seen a couple of his games in the championship. I've seen him play even with Jamaica. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of hustle. Same thing with Casey Palmer. I'm a big Casey Palmer guy. I rate him a lot, dude. Obviously, I know he's playing over at Hull right now, but I think this team, I think honestly, Stephen McLaren's going to be okay with the draw. Obviously, they're going on the road. I don't think Jamaicans are going to want to lose too much. They're kind of, I personally believe, they're kind of just in that mindset of, you know what? Listen, we're 6 points up. Let's get a point, and then when we get back home, we'll take care of business. So I think this, like I said, dude, this has zeros written all over it.
I think this is going to be the one game that Jamaica gets caught. I think for the most part, Jamaica's going to go pretty clean throughout the entire this third round for the most part. But this game to me just feels like this is if there's any game they're going to lose, it just feels like it's going to be this one away at Curacao. We saw in the Gold Cup what Curacao is capable of. So far, what we've seen in the World Cup qualifying, it's been a tad disappointing. You would have liked to see them get that result against Trinidad, but we have seen Jamaica, even though they looked very solid in the September window, there was moments where it's like, okay, like in that Trinidad game, for example, if Levi Garcia could have just stayed on side just for a little bit, that game could have been really interesting. I think Curacao at home, they're going to really be able to take advantage of it. I'm going 1-0 here. I don't think it's going to be a shootout per se, but I think Curacao is going to take it on Jamaica. But going forward, and this is a little bit of foreshadowing, I think
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica's probably going to win out the rest. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they're due. I don't know if this Jamaican team is talented enough to just get the complete sweep over the entire qualifying. There's going to be one game where they get this hiccup, and I think it's going to be this one. And
Yeah.
I know the Jamaican fans are going to come after me on this one.
Mm.
I
They're
feel
not
it. You
going to
guys
like
are
it.
there every time.
They're
You
not going
know,
to like the
that's
takes. Understandably so. Have them losing. Come on, man. Listen, but let's go ahead and move on to our next game, dude. To the
yep.
Soca Warriors. This is gonna be an interesting one. Trinidad and Tobago are going to be going down, or I should say, east of the Atlantic to Hamilton to play Bermuda. So I think this is an interesting game. Listen, Julian, you were kind of talking about that one hiccup. I think Bermuda's going to give one hiccup, and I think it's going to be right now. I think they're due.
Whoa, the
I know. Listen,
disrespect. The
listen.
disrespect.
The Trinidadians, you guys come at me all. I don't listen. You guys think apparently I hate your national team. You guys think I'm not the biggest fan of y'all, and the amount of respect and loyalty that I have for a Levi Garcia and a Tyrese Spicer and a Jovain Jones back in
Sealy.
the day, and a Dante Sealy now who's playing at Orlando, or excuse me, who's playing up in Montreal. Dude,
I like
I
them.
respect this team, but this is just I think Trinidad. I think they're going to get caught. Now I'm not saying they're losing, but I think Bermuda. I think this is a 1-1 draw. I think Bermuda can catch them early on a counter or somewhat. Bermuda, listen, and I'll even flat out say it. The only guy I know on the team is Naki Wells. Realistically, he's the only guy. He's a shooter. He's a baller. He's a beast. Other than that, Bermuda's just this exciting, fun team. They're electric. So I think, honestly, dude, Bermuda's going to catch a team slipping, and I think it's going to be the Soca Warriors. I think they're going to roll in there, and they're going to roll out Marvin Phillips in the goalkeeping net. Somebody, somehow, they got shooters on this team, man. They're going to hit one from outside the box, low block the whole game. Levi Garcia is going to link up with Tyrese Spicer. They'll get a goal back, and then that's going to be the game, 1-1.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my Trinidadian fans out there. I know you guys are out there. I see the analytics. I know y'all watching. I ain't going to disrespect y'all like that. I
Oh,
ain't
wow.
going to disrespect y'all like that. Like I will Nah, I think while I'm not super high on this generation, sadly, I think they have some pieces and they can be good, but they're missing um more. I think this Trinidadian team needs more and needs to be played better as a collective as a whole. But this Bermuda team is not very good at all. Like you said, I believe their best player is in a Leicester City academy. So who's to say that guy even goes pro? Trinidad's gonna walk the floor. I'd be shocked. Now I will say
Mm.
I would not be surprised if Bermuda can get a goal, but this is gonna be a 4-1. Like I don't think this is gonna be
Oh,
close.
wow. Wow.
I think this is gonna be. I don't.
Wow.
I just don't see it. I think they're gonna. This is just like a
Wow.
Levi Garcia brace incoming. Dante Sealy like outside the box banger like this. I think this is going to be a get right game for Trinidad if they want. Then
Mm.
this is a must win. Obviously, like
It's a
they
must
have to
win.
win if they want to
This
stay
is a must
if
win.
they want to
Yeah.
stay relevant. And I think this you have to look at this Bermuda game as a chance to rack up goal differential, especially
Mm.
especially since you're going to most likely be competing for that intercontinental spot, which is the
Yeah.
top two second place teams, which
Right.
means you got to get your goal differential up. This is the game to do that. I think they're going to do that.
Mm. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. If you're Bermudan, let us know down in the comments how disrespected you feel right now from Julian. Just go ahead and drop it down there.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next game, though. Jamaica will be playing host to, pull it up here, my bad, Bermuda. So interesting. I'm just going to keep it flat out, dude. You want to talk about a spank? This is going to be a spank. I think the Jamaicans, I think they're going to roll up. They're going to show up. They're going to show out. I think this game is going to put them 1 foot in the door. They're almost there. They're not completely there yet. Jamaica, if they slip up in that Curacao game, then it's really on. But I think if they even just get a draw there, or if they even get the win, that'll even be better. But I think after this Bermuda game at home, the vibes are going to be electric. Kingston will be popping. Independence Park is going to be electric. It's going to be a good environment. It's going to be a crazy environment. I'm going to love to see the Jamaicans getting down, having a good time. I think it's going to be a goal fest for them. A couple different guys, they're going to kind of be rolling out a little bit of a different starting 11. It's going to be interesting to see Jamali Waite starting in the goalkeeping. Obviously, Andre Blake's still injured. So, yeah, I think Jamaican, I think 3-4. It could even be 5-6. I don't know, but Jamaica's winning.
Now, if there's any game Bermuda's gonna
Oh my
Gonna put some
gosh.
on it.
Oh my.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. How many
No.
Jamaicans that just trigger right there before I
No.
even continued? I already
Y'all come at
like
Julian.
now. I just like fuck with Joe.
Mm.
No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see how. There was already people typing. I'm telling you, bro. No, like I agree with you. There's gonna be. This is probably gonna be like a 4-0 spanking. It's not gonna be close.
Yeah.
It, this is going to be one step forward to the direction. I think they get this win very easily. Like you said, if they get the win in Curacao and this one, then it's pretty much all but locked up for them.
Hmm.
Obviously, that's not what I have my predictions going. But if you get this big result against Curacao, you're just pushing yourself farther along. Gaining goal differential, it's going to be really tough for anybody to catch up at that point. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, and Curacao, like all the other second place teams coming into this, or the second ranked teams for the group, are going to be hosting the double for this match day. So I'm going to be real, dude. Little side note, Julian, I find this kind of interesting. I don't hate on it because those teams, when they go into the last match day, will have no home games. So Curacao are going to be hosting back to back as well, like El Salvador did. So they're going to stay in Williamstad. They're going to be hosting Trinidad now, though, in that game. And I think for both of these teams, it's a must win. Curacao was able to get the draw at Port of Spain, which was big. I think that was huge for them. I think they were the better side even in that game. I think Curacao has to go for it here. The Bakuna Bros got to turn into ballers this game, which they normally do. Dude, listen, I know I'm a ball knowledge guy. I'm ball expert. My ball IQ is 1,000 out of the
Oh
roof,
yeah,
dude. I'm the best of the best in the business. I called it. Tahi Chong, man, my man showed up, showed out. He was the guy that needed to literally save Curacao in that game against Bermuda. I think Chong's going to have an incredible game as well, dude. That's going to be awesome. Also, want to shout out real quick, Kobe Henry for Trinidad and Tobago. A guy, didn't grow up with him. He's from my area, though, here in the Central Florida area. I didn't go to high school with him, but I knew a lot of friends of mine that did. They played high school ball against him, and now he is representing Trinidad and Tobago at the biggest stage in the world. Shout out to him, dude. I think that's awesome. Really, really incredible. People that know Kobe, I know a couple of my boys that do. That's awesome, man. Love it to hear that story for you guys and for him. And he's starting as well, which is awesome to see. But yeah, dude, I will keep it real quick. I think Curacao, I think they're going to get the bag. I think they got the bag here. I think they're going to tap in. I know my Trinidadians think I'm hating on them this video, and I don't have respect for any of them. I just shouted out a guy I knew from high school, but listen, I just think Curacao. I think they have too much firepower, and especially at home. This is also remember, this is not a turf, or this is a turf field. So the ball's going to move like insane speeds, a lot faster, a lot quicker. So I'm going to go Curacao 2-0.
man, this is a tough game for me because a part of me wants to go like a high scoring draw, like a 2-2, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this game has that written all over. But I agree with you in the fact that if you look back at that first game, you could arguably say that Curacao was the better team there, and that was away. I like Curacao at home, man. I feel really good about this. Like you said, I think this might be a huge window for Curacao. I think they get the double here. I think they beat Trinidad in a hard fought game. I'm going to go 2-1, and that will be huge for Curacao to keep
Yeah.
them alive and keep their hopes for potentially getting a direct qualification pretty big, because I'm feeling pretty good about the idea that they can get the double. This might be a good game to live stream. Well, if the fans get you in there, I might this
Hey,
might be one I want to put into the
drop.
docket
Y'all
because
drop.
I feel
Y'all
like this
drop it.
this might be a banger match.
Y'all drop in the comments what you guys want to see, and we'll do it. We'll do it. I will do it. I'll get on with Julian. So
All right, let's move over to
yeah.
Group C, man. Final group.
Woo, interesting group. You know what, dude? We got to kick it off, man. We got to kick it off with El Clásico Centroamericano, El verdadero Clásico Centroamericano. I will even say it, obviously, from the years before Panama really started fully developing and we started sending players abroad. Honduras versus Costa Rica was that main match. That was always the game that was catching all the eyes, not even in Central America, but all around Concacaf and people around the world as well. This is a big one. And I'm going to be real, dude. I feel like we say this every time you guys play. It's always big whenever you guys play other teams and the likes of Panama and El Salvador. But when you two teams match up, dude, it always feels like If somebody wins that game, they're going to qualify. If somebody loses that game, they're not going to qualify for something. And I think it's literally the exact same stakes here. Honduras obviously is sitting at 4 points. Costa Rica's at 2 after a really, really disastrous window. Honduras after a solid window. I don't think it was glorious or anything perfect, but it was a good window for them. The pressure is absolutely on. I don't think it's sauna type beat. I don't think it's South Florida type weather. I think it's house on fire, Costa Rica. I'm talking about the fire department is 2 minutes down the road, and you got the ambulances rolling up, dude. I think it is right now. Piojo Herrera is on hot seat. I think if you guys lose this game, he's out. I think he's done. I don't think he's going to last much longer in San Jose. I just don't see this team being able to rebuild. And I'm just going to get into it, Julian. I'll be real. Honduras at home and this is also, I was looking at it. This is not in Tegucigalpa. This is in San Pedro Sula. This is where they just beat Mexico 2-0. This is a team that when they play in San Pedro Sula, historically do not lose these games. I mean, we were talking about it earlier about Suriname kind of being a tough place. You know, Guatemala is a hard environment. El Cusca clan's scary. San Pedro Sula is a fortress. You know, this is a place that teams do not go into and try to get a result out of. It's very, very hard to do. So I think with all that being said, Honduras as well have pressure on them. I don't want to take anything away and just say it's only Costa Rica, but I will be honest. I'm leaning two ways. I can genuinely see a 1-1 draw or just a draw, a 0-0. I could see both teams kind of being a little nervous to go out there and really get the result and not wanting to play risky ball. But also at the same time, I'm going to be honest, dude. I could see Honduras getting up for this game. I mean, Luis Palma, I'm going to be real, dude. I kind of looked at it. He's already got a couple goals in the Conference League. You know, ever since he made the move over to Lech Poznan in Poland, he's been looking strong. He's been picking up a couple goals, a couple assists here and there. You know, the thing that worries me with Honduras is the defense. Lots of big omissions. Chino Maldonado's out. Julian Martinez is going to be out. Luis Vega's rough. Hessel Montes conceded like 13 goals this summer at the Gold Cup to Canada. So this is a very interesting matchup. Like I said, I see a draw, and you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I think it's a 2-2 draw. I think you guys are going to be able to punch Honduras in the mouth early. You know, you guys beat them out wide within the wing play. I think guys like a Josimar Alcocer could really, really tear apart this game. But I see guys like Luis Palma, you know, even like a Choco Lozano, who a lot of Honduranians don't rate, but he could still get up for these types of games. And I've seen them do it before in the past against Mexico and the United States. So I'm going to go with the 2-2 draw. I think both teams are going to be satisfied, I'll say. Not happy, but both of you guys, I think, are going to walk out of there with it.
So I'm looking at this, and according to competitive matches like World Cup qualifying, Gold Cups, all this stuff, the last time Honduras straight out beat Costa Rica in
It's
a
been a minute.
qualifying since 2013.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
12 years, and they won 1-0.
Yeah.
Last game was against each other was the Nations League playoff into the Copa America, where Costa Rica played in a hostile environment. Obviously, it wasn't Honduras, but like, let's be real. Look at that fan base, and I think it was in Dallas at the time. Like, it was entirely Hondureños, and man, with this game, I think from all the reports that I'm seeing out of Costa Rica, the interviews with Piojo Herrera, he seems like he's going into this window with a completely different approach. Whether or not he does that is another, but he's flat out openly said that defensively we've been poor. The penalties have killed us because every single game, I want to say like 7 games in a row, we've given up a penalty. And I think that we're going to come correct this game. It seems like this is the first time he's kind of been outspoken to saying, okay, let's change some things up. Let's clean it up. Let's do what we're supposed to do defensively. Because quite frankly, offensively, we've been pretty solid. We've looked really good. Honduras, on the other hand, like you said, they're going to be missing some pieces defensively. And then Honduras is, I mean, we saw it in the Nicaragua game. They really struggle to score, man. We even saw it in the game where they beat you guys in the Gold Cup. But look. It
They
didn't. It
scored
was a
still.
late
They still
goal.
scored 2 goals though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, it was a late goal against Nicaragua in the, I believe, the 80th, somewhere in the 80th minute, and this was at Honduras. This was at home,
Mm-hmm.
and they got the game winning goal. I think 10 minutes to go. Nicaragua had that game drew, and this is a much inferior opponent um, to Nicaragua. Obviously, Nicaragua got the upside on us, but I just think that it seems like all things are coming that we're going to come correct this game. We are the better team. You should win this. And the one thing that Costa Rica does best is when our backs against the wall in these qualifying matches is that we show up.
I will give you that.
Like
I will give you
historically,
that. I'll give you
every
that.
single time there's like you don't get to 7 World Cups by accident. Like at the end of the day, I just think this is the moment. It seems like we've had the edge on the rivalry for a long time, for a very long time. It hasn't really felt as competitive. I think this is a one where we come out. We're going to be a little bit more defensively solid. I I just don't think Honduras is going to get more than 2 goals. If they get 2 goals, I see 3-1 here, Costa Rica.
Oh,
And I'm
whoa,
trying to and mind you, I'm going as biased as possible
whoa,
because
whoa.
I'm going unbiased as possible because if you look at what Costa Rica's done the past few games outside of the Nicaragua game, they've been putting up goals, at least 3. I don't see Honduras being able, at most I agree with you, there's a draw. I don't think they're going to put up more goals than us though.
Damn.
So I'm going 3-1 here. I think this is a get right
Woo.
game.
Julian, I love the optimism. I can't hate on it because I'm optimistic about my own
And we're
national
coming
team.
back healthy. We're getting our best defender back.
Kendall Watson.
Yeah, so
Kendall Watson.
I think this is
Ken,
a full healthy.
Kendall, hey guys, drop in the comments. Kendall Watson,
he
who's
probably won't see the field, but
as old as my grandma, has got called up to the net. Dude, Julian, I'm gonna be real, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm not rooting against
no,
you
he's
guys.
probably not going to play.
I'm rooting for you guys because I would love to see you guys at the World Cup. I'd love to see my own national team, but I think it would be fun to see you guys there. Not that I'm a Honduranian hater or anything like that, but dude, this is whoo. Got 3-1, man. 3-1. Interesting take. But anyways, let's move on though. We got a couple other games that we got to cover. Nicaragua versus Haiti. Yeah. That is going to be an interesting one. Listen, the Haitians, man, you guys have showed up, man, showed out. Love seeing you guys in our comment section, reacting to our videos. You guys are awesome, man. I want to see more Nicaraguans, Pinoleros. Where you guys at, man? Shout out your national team. But I think Haiti, this is going to be interesting. I think Nicaragua can cause some problems with. I just don't think Nicaragua. I mean, we've said this in the other videos. I think that game against Costa Rica, I think that was the maximum that we're going to really see from this team, the full on out thresh, and blood. But the thing is, they're not going to be at home. Nicaragua, it's not going to be played in Manaus. It's just going to be a different environment. I think Haiti, listen, dude, if people haven't been kept up to date with this team, obviously Belgrade, he made the transfer from France over to Haiti. Dude, Hans Delacroix, the Burnley player, you got some Prem talent. You've got some La Liga talent. You've got guys over playing in Ike Athens, in Pirot and a Dukins Nasson who scored a hat trick last game. You don't got some shooters on this team. You got some ballers on this team. So I'm going to put some respect on Haiti. I think they're going to get a 2-0 victory here.
I agree. I think this is Haiti's chance to. This is going to be where's this game at again?
In Williamstad, Curacao.
Okay, then yeah, I have Haiti. This game was at Nicaragua. I have a hard time. I like the scoreline.
Wait,
they struggled last time again.
I'm lying to you. It is in Manaus.
Okay.
It is in Nicaragua.
Man, dude.
I still think Haiti can do it though. I don't know.
I agree, but this is one of those. You got to be careful. This is a what's the word? I'm drawing a blank on. This is a upset watch. Haiti should win this. I think they will. Yeah. That field, though, man, I'm telling you from firsthand experience, that field is fucking terrible. That thing rolls like indoor soccer. It is so bad. And that environment is going to be insanity. I'm gonna go 1-0 Haiti here. I think Haiti gets the victory. Look, I understand the excitement, and I've seen it from my Haitian friend, and then also the Haitians that I've seen in the comments here in this video. I know there's a lot of excitement against these dual nationals, but we do have to take a lot of this with a grain of salt. Just because of where they play doesn't necessarily translate into quality on the field. We've seen this with Jamaica. We're kind of seeing it with Suriname, where you see on paper they have countless European talents, but it's not like they're immediately like a top five team per se. Um, I think there's still time to develop. It seems like if you wanted somebody to make the switch, you needed them to make the switch prior to the Gold Cup, ideally. And that is how is that team going to mesh? Honestly, I'd be really worried to completely change up that lineup to throw in some of these newcomer dual nats because that can mess up the entire flow off of a good run that they just had and that great result in Costa Rica. So that's a little bit of a concern. I'm curious to see how they're going to line up, what that game's going to look like. But if they're not careful, this could be an upset. You have to be careful because Nicaragua got the result against Costa Rica, and even though you didn't put too much into that Honduras game, it wasn't like Honduras was necessarily super comfortable in that game either. Like, and this was at Honduras, so Haiti has to be careful here. I do think they have enough quality; they should win. If you get the same Haiti that you had in that second half in that Costa Rica game, then they should get the result. But I'm going to go 1-0 here.
Okay. Okay. I like the optimism. I'm with that. I'm going to keep it with that also. I think a Haitian win here. Dude, this is an interesting one. Let's go ahead and roll into our next games. Final two games that we have here. Costa Rica playing host to Nicaragua. I think Nicaragua wins 4-0. Now, no, dude. I think the pressure. I'm going to stick with my result in that Honduras Costa Rica game, a draw. And I think the pressure, I think at this point, I don't think Piojo is going to be the head coach. I think Kendall Watson's going to be starting. I think Juan Pablo Vargas is on the bench. I think there will be a lot of changes going into this game.
Watson's not
And I think
starting.
Costa Rican,
I think
well,
Watson's sorry
I
to cut
just,
you off.
no, you're good. I just don't think, I think Costa Rica, and I will give you that, like you said earlier, when the pressure's on, Costa Rica shows up. They show up in these types of moments. I think the pressure is going to be on 2 points after 3 games or 3 points after 3 games. And I think they're going to get a win here. I think a big time win against Nicaragua. I could see anywhere 3-4-0. I think it's going to be a thrashing. I really do. I think Kenneth Vargas is going to have himself a day. I think Alonso Martinez is going to pick up a double in this game. I think they're going to be able to move on.
I agree with you. If there's any game that you just like you said, you if you're Costa Rican, really flex your muscles and show who you are and the talent that you have, it's this game. This is going to be a thrashing. I think I think that game left left a bad taste in a lot of players' mouths. And
Yeah.
this is I mean, because even within this generation, I think back to Nations League last year around this time, Guatemala got the 0-0 result again, 0-0 result at home against Costa Rica. Guatemalans were all over the place freaking out, saying, "Yeah, we got the draw against Costa Rica. It was big." Next window, literally in October of last year, they came to San Jose. They thought they can do the same thing. We beat them 4-0.
Three
So, and
zero.
that was with
3-0.
was it 3-0? I thought it was 4-0.
Yeah.
Either way, I think you're going to see that again. It's going to be a great, valiant effort. And if there's anything that we've seen in like a lot of these Nicaraguan teams is that they're able to get some result at home, but then when they go away, they really struggle. I
Yeah.
think the Honduras game was kind of the anomaly there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a thrashing. We're just too good at home. It's too
Yeah.
talented. And yeah,
Yeah. Wrapping it
I
up,
think this is
dude.
going to be a good result.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I
good
agree.
window. My bad.
No, agreed. Wrapping it up though, dude. All right, big game. This is huge for Honduras. This is, you want to talk about must win. This is must win written all over it. I don't think Honduranians can go into this window looking at it as, oh, we'll see what happens. a draw, if we win. I think Honduras is looking. I think they're looking at this whole window as a 6 point window, obviously, like any other team. But I think the two home games is going to be beneficial for them. Now, I will say though, if Honduras wants to have a realistic shot, they have to win, and they have to win this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, because what they have to come up next to is going to a hostile Nicaragua and then wrapping it up in San Jose. And that's no easy task for anybody, anyone in the region. So I will say, I think to get to the result, this is a sneaky Haitian team. This is a team that we saw was able to not only just go and get a draw against a Costa Rican team, but come back. I mean, from a 3 goal deficit. And Dukin's the zone. The way, dude, out of his mind, out of his mind that game. I don't know what the Haitians were doing before the game, but incredible stuff. Well, I don't know what they did at halftime. But still. But my thing is, this is a different environment. It's a different place, and I think the pressure's different. Going into that Costa Rica game, it was obviously the first home game. It was a little bit more of like, okay, what are we figuring out? Now we've seen that this is a real Haitian team. These are some for real ballers. These are some guys that are going to come out and play. So I think it's going to be a big game. Johnny Placide, whether he's starting or not, we'll have to see. In the goalkeeping position, he's got to have a big game. Same thing with Honduras. And Mendidar is going to have a big game. I really think, I'm going to be honest, dude. I think this game has. I know my Catrachos are going to hate me for this, but I think it's a 1-1 draw. I think the Haitian speed. I think Haiti. They're going to cause some problems, dude. I really do see. I see this being a 4 point window for them, and I could see them picking up a valuable, very valuable point here on the road, and really just causing some problems for Honduras.
Man, this game is really tough for me. This game is really hard to evaluate. I think out of all the games in this group, in particular, all the matchups, like I can evaluate the Costa Rica Honduras game. I can visualize how that game's going to go. I still go back, man. Like I understand that Honduras is at the top of the group, but they just didn't look great to me. Like I go back to that first game of Haiti versus Honduras in Williamstad. I thought
Mm-hmm.
Haiti was the better team. Haiti should have won that game. Quite honestly, if you go back and look at that, I think Honduras only had one clear cut chance that I believe Romeo Kyoto hit off the crossbar. Outside of that, I just didn't see much. And then we go to the Nicaragua game. I also didn't see much. I'm afraid that they might be riding too high, even though they had a lot of holes
Yeah.
that really need to be cleaned up, and they didn't face a team that was able to take advantage of it. I think Haiti is a better team than what they were when they first met in September. I think that Costa Rica game, they're able. I believe they're going to be able to ride the momentum of that. Now, do I think they're going to be able to replicate that? Because if you do, I believe, and I'm not just saying this as a Costa Rican, and you might agree with me as well. I think that game against Costa Rica was more of a fumbling of Costa Rica than it was the willpower of Haiti coming back. It seemed to be more of the mistakes and the penalties that Costa Rica made. Um, but they were able to take advantage of it. Now, I think Honduras, man, this is such a tough one for me because Honduras has seemed to be pretty clean in the back, but they are going to be missing some people. I'm going to have to go draw here as well. Man, I think this might be a 1-1. I think Haiti's destined to get one in the back of the net, but it's just going to turn into just a sloppy mess of a game. I feel Honduras and El Salvador are just known to be like that. Just turn it into just like really sloppy games, which is probably what they want. But yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1 here because I do think Haiti is going to be better defensively and especially in the midfield than what we saw in Nicaragua and what they saw in the first matchup that they had. So I'm gonna go 1-1 here, but this is a tough one for me to evaluate because that first game didn't really give me much to go off of. Um,
Mm.
but because you're playing at Honduras and no longer on like a neutral ground, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give I'm gonna go 1-1 here.
All right. Those are all the matchups.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get shit for that. We had a lot of draws in there, but I feel like it is. I do think it's going to be one of those windows where
It's a
it's going to be a lot of close games. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be tough. It's going to be
yeah.
low scoring. I don't expect a lot of high scoring games outside of the thrashers that are probably going to occur. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do want to end it here. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Hmm.
I'm not going to go like complete rankings of each group by the end of this window, but like
Yeah.
we'll just do who do you think is going to be at the top of the window, top of their group by the end of the window. So we'll start with Group A.
Group A, Panama. Group B, Jamaica.
Really,
And Group C, Honduras. I think it's going to be tight, all three of them. I think Curacao is going to be on the tail of Jamaica. I think Panama, if we're on top, we're drawled, but we're going to be on top due to goal differential, whether we're tied with Suriname or if we're tied with El Salvador. I think it's going to be very close. And then with Honduras, I think they're going to have either a 1 or 2 point gap on you guys. I think we're gonna start seeing a little bit of gaps form. Obviously, after 4 games, we should start seeing gaps, but I think it'll be a little bit of a gap in between. What are you thinking?
um, I'm trying to think of my results that I had. I think I had. Did I have Panama get 4 points? I had Suriname get 1.
I think you had
Yeah, I'm
Suriname get
probably going to
yeah
go. I think I had Suriname lose get.
yeah you had them at 1.
Who I had them at 1 because I think they get the draw against Guatemala, and I think you guys beat them at home, and then I think you guys get the draw. You guys get 4 points. Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys up top. I'm gonna have Jamaica up top, and based on my results, I would have Costa Rica on top based off my predictions because I have Honduras getting 1 point, I believe. Yeah, I have Honduras getting 1 point.
Hmm.
And I have Haiti getting 4, and then I have Costa Rica getting 6.
That'd be
So
crazy.
no, do I
I
have?
think
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be a crazy window
So yeah,
if Costa Rica can get 6.
yeah. I think you take care. Yeah, I think you take care of Honduras, and the Nicaragua game should be a layup. And I'm also looking too at goal differential. Like even if Costa Rica comes out there in 4 points, um, I do think that Nicaragua game is going to be such a thrasher at home that it's going to give them the edge as well. So even if we do end up tied, like say you get 4,
Hmm.
Honduras gets 2, Haiti gets 4, I think we're going to have the edge based on goal differentials and goals scored
Mm.
on that point. So because I just think I think they're just the best scoring team. Haiti can be, but Haiti can also be up and down. So that's like Haiti can drop a bunch of goals, but then they can also not score any against a poor Saudi Arabia team. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's one of
Hmm.
those two. So it's like, which one are you going to get? Or the 0-0 against Honduras in that
Man,
neutral ground. It's a weird.
I know.
It's so hard to predict Concacaf, man. It's so hard to
Yeah,
predict Concacaf because you just never know because the stuff
yeah,
is so up and down. No one's consistent. It feels like it's like one
nobody.
moment you're riding somebody high, and then the next it's
Yeah,
just like, and then when it
well,
feels like nobody truly looks dominant. You know what I mean?
yeah,
No one like at least in
and
the past couple of years, it feels like there's been a lot of up and downs in the past couple
yeah,
of years. Obviously, like the past, let's say if we go back far enough, you could say clearly like Honduras, Costa Rica, Mexico, US, like that's was pretty established. But it seems like since like 2020, since like COVID, it
yeah.
just feels like everything's kind of bouncing around, reshuffling and figuring each other out.
Yeah. I think what's made this window, dude, or the last window, and what's made these qualifiers really interesting is we've always talked so much, dude, in CONCACAF, the home field advantage, the home team. If you're playing at home, Costa Rica draws at home, Panama draws at home, Guatemala loses at home, El Salvador, you know what I mean? It's like this parody. It literally feels like a reality TV show, dude. Where it's like, oh yeah, that team will no, that team's not going to win. Oh, that dude. So I will say, I think after the first two match days, or after the first two games and match day one, I think it's really built for. I will say this, dude. Every single game is going to be a banger game, and I'm talking about even Bermuda versus Trinidad and Tobago. Like every single game is a banger game. Like these are very, very good games, but we will see.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah,
the thing too. I think the thing too is that like it kind of like we said with the inconsistencies. It's like can you okay yeah sure like let's use Haiti for example, right? They scored 3 goals in one half, but like we
hmm
look back at the previous half, like they were getting absolutely demolished. It was hard to tell, and then so it's like, but then the game before that they got 0-0. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
so hard to predict like what you're going to get. It's because like you cannot trust that outside of historically maybe Panama and Costa Rica that you're going to get what you get. But then obviously in the September window that blew all everything out of whack. So even
yeah,
us and our national teams are even like hard to gauge right now. So, but yeah.
yes, they are.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody. If you listened to the entirety of this podcast, this is probably one of our longer ones in a while, but I think it was much needed. We're going to leave timestamps, obviously, as you guys probably already see if you made it to the end. And yeah, we're going to be doing some live streams. We're going to do something. Check the community post. That's where we're going to post what games we're going to do as we get closer to it. And yeah, guys, we will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.